Coming up on this episode.
Anyone who is not leveraging on technology for their business, they're actually becoming a Kodak.
Absolutely.
They're becoming a Kodak. They'll be disrupted and they'll be out of business very soon. We need to create those opportunities where people can realize value almost immediately and then make the rightful decisions. Because it's in that, then we get that momentum going. We then get the markets having those price discoveries and all that.
Sponsored by the Fund Managers Association.
Welcome to the Icifa Investment Show. This is Emerging Trends Edition. In the same conversations, one of the key things that we have seen is that technology is the biggest driver sometimes of what we are seeing when it comes to the trends that we are observing, especially in the investments landscape. Today, we want to have that conversation on opportunities in the changing economic landscape. And our guest today, drum rolls, the Icifa Vice Chair is right here, FA David Kanyi. Karibu sana.
HSC.
Yes. I love this. This is so good. It's good to see you, man.
Nice to see you, and it's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Yes.
I must first of all appreciate the journey because I think we go way back when you were at the Capital Markets Authority. Now you're in the green building. If I may use that word.
Yes.
But let's endear our viewers first with what you're currently doing. I like saying where you're practicing the FA skills that you got. Yeah.
So I think, and thanks Mina for having me in the show. It's truly an honor to come and participate and also give back to community and also just share some of the experiences that we've had over the years. My journey has been quite a nice journey, starting off at the exchange and transitioning into the CMA where I honed off, I would say most of 90% of my skills were honed on when I was at the CMA for 14 years. A lot of learning.
14 years.
14 good years. 14 good years of learning and with ultimate good support from the leadership that was there then. And I give all the 90% learnings that I got from the leaders who trusted in what we can do. And it is doing some of the things that we did within the capital markets, setting up, surveillance systems and oversight systems, working with the industry to set up risk-based supervision and compliance, working with also the industry and other regulators within the region to open up the markets for East Africans to also participate. And ultimately, of course, ensuring that we deepen the market by bringing in new products, some of them being like the green bonds that we did, the derivatives market, which I still believe one day will show up in this market in a big way. And I think when it does that day, I will be on top of Mount Kenya saying at least I played a role and a part in it. Most importantly, also working closely with the industry and the other stakeholders within the industry just to deepen the market. By the time I was leaving the capital markets, I was in charge of market deepening, a role that was new. That I remember when the then CEO gave me that is Paul Modaura, gave me that role and told me, you're the right person for this role because you have both industry-facing skills and also the understanding of what happens in the capital market.
Absolutely.
It was a tough job. But I'm happy that some of the things that we started, I can see them coming up, like consultative forums with the industry, just to work together, to build products together, ideate, iterate products, and build regulations that speak to the Kenyans, not necessarily off-the-shelf regulations that ordinarily would not resonate with the investors locally. That role prepared me for the next role, which was something that I'd always wanted to do, getting into the fintech space. Fintech, and I think what we are seeing now, coming from fintech and digital services to wealth tech, to insure tech, and all that, health tech, edutech, there's a lot in that space, and technology is actually taking over. And by the way, anyone who is not leveraging on technology for their business, they're actually becoming a Kodak.
Absolutely.
They're becoming a Kodak. They'll be disrupted and they'll be out of business very soon because the technology layer is building up and up and up. And some of the things that we'll be discussing maybe today, around what has technology done to bring the customers closer, and also bring the industry closer to making those unified decisions that bring products that speak to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's been a good journey. I'm currently at the greenhouse at Safaricom, where so in Safaricom you're agile, so I'm a tribe lead, not a tribe, the usual tribe, but I lead a team that deals with public sector economic empowerment programs.
Okay.
So when you look at your various engagement programs on financial inclusion, that is my role, to ensure that all these services that are out there in terms of financial services get to the person in Luambu, Turkana, and whichever far corner that is in this country. The unbanked, underserved Kenyans who have never experienced a financial service are able to do that. And M-Pesa has given us that platform, for example. I mean, when M-Pesa started, we were only 26% in terms of financial inclusion, and now playing at about 85% and growing. We believe that it has addressed the layer of digital payments, and now it's time to get the new verticals around insurance, wealth, investments, and all that, and credit. The other day I was just talking to, I was in Kakuma, the camp, the camp, and it was interesting to see an experienced refugee just experiencing M-Pesa for the first time, and you could see the joy they had, because they only hear about M-Pesa. They've never known about M-Pesa, but now they had M-Pesa on their phone, and it was one of the best moments that I experienced when I could tell that this person feels now they can actually get transformed.
You're right.
And it's part of parcel of what we do in Safaricom. We transform lives. And people say, how do you ensure this is inclusion? People are not educated. How do they know that how to use a phone, how to get messages on money and transact? You tell me one person who has ever received a message from M-Pesa and not known what it means. For as long as you've said you have received X amount of money and your balance is X amount, even if you're not literate, you know what it means.
You know.
And that is the first step. That's the first step.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we are now. And I think there's a lot to be done, but technology will actually take us further.
You're right. And I'm curious, by the way, to see, because as we have said, it's an evolving world. And I'm sure definitely you're thinking 5-10 years from now and the likes. We shall have that conversation another time on what you guys are doing there.
Yes.
But commendable, especially for inclusion purposes.
Correct.
When you talk about going all the way down to the borders. Now, the subject today is all about that changing economic landscape. And I'm sure you've observed a lot of things, being especially at the helm of one, not even one, of the biggest money transfer services that we have in this country. And of course, that's one way in which people get to learn about investments. So I wanted to ask you, because we're talking about opportunities, where there's always these changes we see, there are definitely opportunities there.
Correct.
What have you observed? What are these things that the next investor needs to start seeing as an opportunity?
One of the things that we've done as a country is, of course, talk about some of these opportunities that are available. But we need to break it down. There's a time when you'd speak about shares and people would ask you, what are these? I remember the first time when I joined the capital markets, and I remember the market guru, our Warren Buffett, Jim Nambaru, talking about a rights issue. And at that point, people didn't understand what is he talking about.
What are you talking about?
I think 2003, 2004, thereabout. And when we did the first rights issue, subsequently, it became the norm. So it means that we need, first and foremost, to have people who now speak about these difficult conversations that are very new to everyone, and then have the will to push. I think the predecessors of the ones who started up the capital markets and have been supporting it did a very good job in laying the great foundation that we have now, from manual systems all the way now to automation. And the opportunities come from there, where the journey that we've built over time opens up doors to various other things. I think when many years back, when you look at the manual processes, you'd probably have very few transactions because of the process that are involved. By the time you sell a security and get money, it will take you even more than 30 days Yeah, I remember we were doing T plus 21, T plus 27.
Yeah.
And we were still a market. We were still regarded as a market.
21.
Yeah. So today, fast forward, and M-Pesa is doing transactions on the spot.
Yeah.
Nothing stops us from being a T plus 0 market.
Yeah.
In fact, it's possible, and that's where we are headed. And that tells you the shorter period of making those decisions brings in that volatility. And that is where we need to go. We need to create those opportunities where people can realize value almost immediately and then make the rightful decisions. Because it's in that, then we get that momentum going. Yeah. We then get the markets having those price discoveries and all that. Yeah. And I think, and as I said, as we leverage on what's happening outside the ecosystem, we also need to also start seeing how do we also harness that potential from moving from those long times of processes into now short-term processes because of digitization and all. But yes, there's a lot to be said around us building a capital market and also ensuring that we build the users of that capital market. Because again, we do not build a capital markets for ourselves. We build a capital markets for investors and for I'm happy to see the opportunities coming up for retailers, because for a long time it's been more of an institutional-led industry where insurance companies, the big funds are the ones that are it is good to have them as building blocks, but also these need to carry along and democratize that to also include the retail investors who are the masses. The day, and I keep on going back to where I work right now, the day M-Pesa democratized that is the day we started seeing financial services changing. Absolutely. Right? Before, you could not go to a bank with not less than 50,000 as minimum deposit. Right? Today, they are even allowing you to open a digital wallet. To just have coins on a digital wallet, right? And that tells you that transition has brought some relevance to including those people who are not included then. And that is a space that we like playing in. And I think those are where the opportunities lie. Bringing those people closer to where democratizing that space to bring them closer to also harness some of those opportunities that are there in the capital market.
Yeah, very interesting thoughts there. And I pick one that I hope will be a big dream. When I look at the betting society in this country and the turnaround is because of their quick clearance. So in the investment landscape as well, we need to think the same way, that we can close for people and people can have their money and do their thing. But let's move on this conversation on opportunities as well. I'm thinking about what we see still at the current, talking about the private equity, venture capital, and alternative investments. How are you seeing them gaining traction in Africa? And in terms of, are the opportunities from what they provide still growing? Or what are you seeing as a trend?
Let me say that in terms of capital accumulation and building capital, the VCs, PEs have done a good job over the last couple of years in trying to get that capital in. And also trying to address some of the gaps that we had. I remember in a statement that one of the CSs some years back asked, I'm approving so many VCs and PE funds in this country to come and operate here, but I'm not seeing any activity on the exchange. Because we have to see the transition.
We need to.
But I think what we've seen is that they would come in, harness the value, and transition to another PE fund, for example. It's a loop. But ideally, for Kenyans to feel the right benefit, then it should have gone through the way of getting that value extracted from an exchange, so that you and I can also benefit from that value. Given that we are the Kenyans, we are the ones who are working in those farms. If you take like Java, Kenyans are the ones who are taking those meals. So any value that is extracted from that, then we would expect that Java would be listed on the exchange, for example, for us to also have a restaurant listed on the exchange. But moving away from that, because we've seen a lot of challenges also the last couple of years. Like last year, we saw that activity drop. I think Africa just did about slightly above 500 deals on PEs and VCs, and that was about $2.6 billion worth of business or deals. If you compare that to the Americas that did over 9,000 deals, coming into about $185 billion, then you can see the gap is still firm. But the way I look at it is that the opportunity to grow Africa is far more pronounced than the opportunity to grow, the already developed markets.
Yeah.
If you look at today, Maina, if you go to the tallest building in this city, and look at the skyline, there's construction all over. Like what we have right now.
There's a construction happening. Like,
and I think that just tells you the opportunities that are there. From building construction, there's railways building in Africa, because it's just a green heaven for anyone who has investments to place. There are roads that are being built, there are bridges, there are hospitals, there are schools. We have a young population that will require all this, and that is what investors are looking for. Now, we've had a couple of challenges. I think PE funds dropped activity in Africa the last couple of months, 1 year, way back. And it's purely because when interest rate went up, most investors went back to invest back in their home countries. So we got that dried up a bit. We've seen now that change. If you look at, for example, the last couple of months, the exchange has now started growing in terms of activity, because people are shifting from debt to equity. And if you get back to equity, then private equity funds will find an opportunity to come back here and see, because it's an opportunity as rates come down. So the VCs and PEs have a special place in starting up that momentum. They build startups. We've seen beneficiaries of some of those VCs, like Airbnbs were beneficiaries from VCs. Uber was a beneficiary from VCs. Our very own, even some of our own entities here are beneficiaries. But also, there are challenges in that space. I was reading a book by Simon Clark, who is an investigative journalist. It was about Abraj Capital. And Abraj was a player in this market, but there were certain challenges, and I think the matter was taken to court, even abroad. And you could see some aspects of challenges that also some people took advantage of what VCs can do, and that has led to a lot of problems also. Again, some investors have lost money because of that. It is. I'll give you the name of the book so that at least also.
I was about to ask you. What's
so that we can also have people read that book. It's an interesting book. It's an interesting book to read. Right. But looking at VCs now and away from that, and also now looking at alternatives. I like alternatives. Because we've been so glued to the traditional way of doing things. Bonds, equities, cash.
The usual.
Those are the traditional, usual, plain vanilla products. But alternatives are, I think, the new way to go. Market intermediaries, investment bankers are looking at, how else do we move away from this loop of just having the same thing? How do I attract new capital? Because I have a structured product that is different from what people can see. And I think the alternative space is now growing. CMA itself has recognized that. They issued the alternative investment funds regulations. Why? Because they have seen there is a demand for that, and we need now to come in and also bring some order in terms of how these products are developed around that space. So alternatives is also a very good space, and it offers an investor like myself to look at what's on the plate. If I want the high risk, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to join in and take up. I want to invest in an unplain vanilla product, in health tech, for example, or in digital payments, for example, or in real estate, for example. Those are alternatives, and just moving away from the plain vanilla ones that have been there. So the three have played a critical role in capital accumulation, and the products that are built out of that then bring in new capital for people who are looking for something different, and that's now market development.
Wow. As you keep saying, we cannot stop investments, just like our construction building here. We have to let people do. But now, technology, it doesn't seem to stop.
And it will not stop.
It will not stop, especially AI now. Talking blockchain just the other day. We're talking tokenization just the other day. These emerging trends, in your own opinion, when you look at them, what do you say? How do you say they are transforming investments for the now investor? As you've said, you've already mentioned a few of it, but definitely to the investor and the investments, definitely there must be a wake-up call to them.
I think there's no conference in the world today that is not talking about AI, for example.
Yeah, everywhere, even agriculture, everywhere.
Yeah, including my 8-year-old son.
They're talking about it.
When I was his age, I was thinking about my BMX, to go out and play with my BMX.
Yeah.
The lad is talking about AI and how AI can help him in his robotics class. So it just tells you, if you do not embrace some of these initiatives, then you'll end up losing out. AI is not a bad thing. AI is actually a good thing to help us turn around things faster.
Yeah.
We have seen AI being used across various aspects of our businesses. Most businesses are actually harnessing a lot of information through AI. At Safaricom today, embedded on your phone are 16,000 touch points.
16,000
touch points that can help you identify with what you're doing. For example, you'd come in today with your phone and log in onto a network, so we see we can tell you which network you're using. For example, we give you our fiber. We can see you have Netflix, so we can actually embed a payment service for Netflix.
Yeah.
We can tell a lot about the insights we're getting from these kind of interactions, and those interactions are the ones that now harness the insights that help the businesses to grow the next product. So AI is a good thing to have, and I think for us as an organization, as Safaricom, it's a requirement for everyone to actually undertake an AI course.
Wow.
And start now utilizing that, building at least 2, 3 more or 4 use cases in each and every product that you build. And one of the biggest things I've seen is insights-driven initiatives through AI has really helped in us understanding. We can tell when you call, we can tell when you use data to WhatsApp and all that. And when you call, we know the times you call. So we'll be giving you call time or some of those benefits that we offer our customers during the time that you actually call. When you're on the net, we'll be giving you data bundles that are structured for that time. That you see that our products are now becoming more and more hyper-personalized.
Okay.
Right? And that hyper-personalization is driven by just understanding what AI is doing.
Yeah.
Now, when you leverage that with, because that's increased efficiency, increased accessibility of information.
Okay.
When you augment that with blockchain technology, that also helps now secure either your transactions, secure address frauds and all those things. Then you now start seeing how the different facets of technology are coming in together to provide ease of access, security, and ultimately now moving you now to accessing other digital fronts of tokenization and allowing you now to harness the full end-to-end benefit of technology. So when you look at the investment space right now, some markets, some investment banks, some entities are actually using AI to even provide investment advice, right? Some communities are actually creating what we call AI communities in investment space, where they share ideas, they share information, and now you start now crowding in people who have never experienced buying a stock or buying shares. In the community, they can say you buy shares using. So it's good, but also you have to be very careful. It can also be used in the wrong way. Yeah, because again, as much as you have good actors, you also have bad actors who take advantage of this. And if you have bad actors who come in and infiltrate that space, they can actually create information that could be falsified and used in the wrong way. So also, it also helps you to use AI to get a lot of this information, but also find a way of confirming this through your own due diligence and research before you can engage. But the good thing, today, Paina, and if I take you back to when you did your undergrad, personally, I struggled when I was doing my thesis because I would spend all the time in the library, JKM, going through periodicals, going through all those documents to just cite some of those previous authors and all that. And that now doesn't have to happen. You You go to your Copilot, you go to your DeepSeek, you go to your Meta AI, get all the information. Then you can go and augment that and now do a bit more research because now you're already guided. So it cuts down that time. It helps you. Yeah. So you can use it in many other ways to help you either research for the stocks, research for investment opportunities, research and get more information about the space that you want to get into. Even looking at the opportunities that come with for example, let's say tokenization. Yeah. There is a whole world out there where we are saying, for example, today if you are told to buy gold, it's very expensive as an individual. Yeah. But you can actually tokenize that gold and get a piece of it and say that I own. Yeah. There are Kenyans today, and I was happy to meet one of the young guys in a college in town, and he was saying that I can boastfully tell you, David, that I have a share of Microsoft. Yeah. However small it is, I have a share of Microsoft. I got a share. But how is that happening? It's because they're able to tokenize and also get just a small piece of it. And that is what you need to do and give people opportunity to do. And now people can actually create their own portfolios. Yeah. So with all this technology availability, I can build my own portfolio. And that is where we are headed as capital markets, where you allow me to build my own portfolio. Yeah. Give me the information I require, expose me to the markets, let me go and get funds from all over, create my own portfolio, monitor it, and there's no joy. There's nothing as good as joy from you seeing what you've built is actually making you money. Yeah, it transforms you. It transforms you. Yeah.
You know, you sit at a very nice pivotal point where you see many varied investments and the likes. I wanted to ask you, have you seen one that has excited you, saying this one's got it, they have embraced these emerging technologies and they're either on the run and still adopting?
I was having a conversation with the MD of Easy Equities. Easy Equities is in South Africa. And they have embraced some of these technologies very well. I think there's a time they were interested to come into Kenya. I don't know what happened. But when I talked to the guy and he told me what they are trying to do, leveraging on technology, you could see they have created, they actually allow you to create your own portfolio on their platform. Yeah. They allow you to build upon it. They allow you to use AI and get into the communities and learn. Yeah. Because the biggest challenge when it comes to capital markets is information asymmetry. If you're able to get information, then you're able to make the right decisions. Yeah. The capital market is all about making the right decisions at the right time. Yeah. So you don't invest when the market is going down. Yeah. I mean, when everything is crashing is when you're getting in. But it's also part of also, an opportunity to get in and ride the wave, and also because markets are cyclical.
Yeah. And at some that's point why you launch derivatives as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, lovely. Finally, to the investors, let's give I would like you to share some tips, because you're in the mud, if I may use that. Someone who has seen this, or I'm sure there are tips that you see around here for them. So any practical tips you have for them to position themselves up for growth?
First and foremost, any investor who is keen to look at the markets should, first of all, I look at two different types of investors. Number one is an investor who is already in it, and there's the one who is outside looking for the right time to get in. Yeah. For that person who is outside, there is no right time to get in. The time is now.
It's now.
Start somewhere. You don't have to save until because that's the first question when I'm doing my philanthropy work and just talking to small women groups and other groups of young people. The first thing they ask me, so how much do I need to invest in the capital market? And I tell them, even 100 shillings is a startup. Yeah. For as long as you start your journey, then snowball it. Over time, it will grow.
And do you know, by the way, because of the single stocks now, even man Bob.
NS is doing a great job in crowding in this way, because that's the first question. And that tells you that's a barrier to entry. Yeah. So the thinking around that you need a lot of money to get into investments, it's a barrier to entry. Yeah. But also the other thing that you also need to look at is, how does your investment journey start? Yeah. First and foremost, Kanyi has a disposable income, right? Kanyi has consumption. Yeah. So you have to look at Kanyi is consuming, but you have to tell Kanyi you don't have to consume everything. Save a little, and once you save, then you can get into the investment space. So we need also to start now showcasing and helping Kenyans to start saving first to start their journey. Yeah. That's number one. Number two is understand your risk appetite. Am I a risk lover? Am I a risk averse person? Okay. Once you understand where you are, then you can now decide which stocks to take or which securities to take, because every security has its own risk parameter. So you can tell if I'm a risk-averse person, then I would rather turn to bonds where I can actually get a safe haven. It's not too risky, a government paper. If I'm a risk lover, then I'll go to alternatives, right? I'll go invest in a startup, and then I can invest that. That's number 2. Then number 3 is look at the long term, have a long-term view, right? Because the challenges that we have is this whole idea, and you mentioned it earlier on betting, where you want get rich quick. ASAP. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to take your time. You have to take your time, look at the long game, invest longer. The longer term maturities are better in terms of your investment cycle. And that cycle will always grow with you because the opportunities keep on coming, and of course companies are growing, and you also have to know where you're investing. So you do your own research. Today, Maina, before you buy a shoe, you'll probably look at 10 shops and decide. We are very good. Even today, when you shop for your car, you're not going to a car yard and say, I want this car. No. You first of all take time to understand the car, understand what you're looking for, go from this dealer to this dealer to the other dealer, and then decide, okay, I can see the price difference. Why? The same acumen should be applied also when you're actually getting into that space. So you need also to understand what you're investing in. And I think once you start your journey, just have the discipline. I think Warren Buffett says you only need about 3 things. 1, don't be greedy.
Don't be greedy.
Don't be greedy. Have the discipline and be patient. It will turn around.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much for your time, Effie. Kanyi. There you have it, Effie David Kanyi speaking it as it is, and I'm sure you have taken a tip or two. Wow, this whole matter of changing economic landscape and what to do with it, probably will need a chapter 2 as well, because probably in the next month or so, there will be more changes happening. As we can see, every single day an invention is popping up. But thank you so much for always tuning in. Remember to subscribe. That is the Icifa Investment Show episode on emerging trends, talking matters, opportunities in a changing landscape. See you next time.